But
Spader always. I don't understand it. I don't even really get that, but I don't want to interrupt. I'm not going to start off on a Spader rant.
well, I mean, maybe it was just before our time. We were too young to fully grasp and understand the sex appeal, I guess, that is James Spader, but I digress. Right.
I just think It's funny that he was able to. He had a couple like sexual movies, but now that's just part of his patois. It's like that's his thing. Other than like Stargate, everything he does is like kind of like sexual in a way, and maybe he insists on that. I don't know, or maybe he just calls. It's like everyone's like, "Yeah, I need a sexy guy. Get me Spader."
Yeah, that's what we didn't ask for. But you know how in wrestling they always say like you're only as good as your enemy, as good as your opponent, and like
Hmm.
you know how like a good heel makes a great face, and vice versa. So with that being said, out of the pantheon of great Adam Sandler movies in the mid to late 90s, who do you think his most formidable heel was? Because there was a heel in each of them.
Yeah, I'm saying Shooter McGavin just because of like the swag Shooter brought to it.
Shooter.
Yeah, it's got to be Shooter, Steve. Do you beg to differ?
He's the first one that jumps out. It's kind of like who is the most formidable Batman heel? The first one that jumps out is Joker. That's kind of how it is with Shooter. Like out of any of them, he would be the most likely to have his own spinoff. You know, if they ever did a Happy Gilmore's series, miniseries, he'd be the one that like, hey, let's get more behind this character. What's he about? What's his backstory? Now, I will say a close second is the coach from Waterboy, because I'm going off of who do you want to punch more out of any of these movies? Who would you really like to? Oh, and that coach, yeah, oh yeah, ooh,
Also, I mean, I hate to mind Happy Gilmore, but the guy that's like, "You suck, jackass." That guy was pretty. He's the one that really beat Sandler. He got over on him, Steve. He initiated some violence, and also, if you want to go meta, Big Daddy. I mean, being a good dad's a pretty good, tough adversary, Steve. So
yeah.
being an adoptive father at that. But I don't know who I would say is the heel of Big Daddy other than that or Child Services, the fat guy who was the
Child
amazing
Protective,
Blob in Billy Madison.
Child Protective, maybe,
Yeah.
yeah.
Child Protective or Rob Schneider's weird Greek delivery guy. This is bullshit.
Yeah. He should be shining Sandler's shoes at this point, man. You know, you've been living
Especially
off of, especially now.
because we see that I mean, sorry, Rob, but
I'm
you've
not.
proven to be a douchebag as yourself. So, like, Sandler was bringing you on, getting you all this heat, got you starring roles. Nobody was hiring you before you did all these Sandler things. Then you got Animal, and Deuce Bigelow and whatnot. So, yeah, Rob Schneider, I hope you have like an altar to Adam Sandler that you're just like putting, whatever. It's like one of those things at a nail salon.
More like douche Bigelow.
That is one that took a. There's a couple of like people that I used to love where it's like, Jesus,
Yeah.
what happened
Your
to you?
ass used to be so beautiful.
What happened to you, man?
Yeah. Hey, man, back off, man.
I'm not. It's cool if I like Trump, man. I
Yeah.
can chill. I mean, I wish. Yeah, that's one, Rob. Say less, Just go on and come back and do a copy guy every once in a while or something.
Oh man,
Disappear.
that it's too late. There's no turning back at this point. The damage, there's too much damage.
Well,
collateral damage and all.
him and Dean Kane can hang out or something like those. The just desperate celebrities, you know. Dean's trying has to have a second job. He's got to round up fucking Mexican people or whatever he's up to now.
Rob Schneider, Dean Kane, and Kevin Sorbo. Throw in
Yeah,
Michael
dude.
Richards too.
Who was Renegade? Was that wasn't Sorbo? That was
Lorenzo Lamas.
yeah.
Is he worthy of
Throw
that?
him. I just want to throw him in, Steve.
Yeah.
Maybe Sabato Jr. too. If we're going like those guys, that Antonio Sabato.
Well, what is he said? I'm going off of like canceled people
Yeah,
that you might thought was cool back in the day, but they're turds now.
I
That's why
feel
I
like
said Dean.
I'm just guessing, and if I
Yeah.
apologize if Antonio Sabato's done nothing but good things, but I feel like him and Sorbo and Lamas were all hanging out. You know,
You know what, Matt? Fuck all these handsome motherfuckers from them 90s syndicated shows.
I don't know. We could. Who else, Steve? Who else are we throwing into the mix? Because we
Who
can't
else was
throw.
syndicated?
I'm not throwing MacGyver and shit into it. You know,
Nah, he wasn't
Dracula,
syndicated.
he can stay in. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. And maybe we've called out gotten a couple people caught up in some crossfire that don't deserve it. But yeah, if you were handsome in the 90s and you have some questionable fucking opinions, we're here to call you out.
Yeah.
You hear us?
Fuck your bone spurs. This is Steve G and Mad G with Happened in the 90s, a show where we talk about what happened in the 90s. So get out your Lil Wayne CDs and your Wayne's World hats. Because whatever you want from me, I'm giving you everything. Happened in the 90s. You're giving me ecstasy. You are my fantasy. Happened in the 90s. Happened in the 90s.
Woo! Steve, is that Steve Houston over there? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm baby daddy number 3. I didn't make the behind the music segments. You know, I was busy on my second job at Popeyes. But today, my friend, we're talking all things November 6th in the 90s. Water sucks. It really, really sucks. Starting off in 1990, Whitney Houston would release I'm Your Baby Tonight.
I mean, it's Whitney, Steve. I don't. There's not much we can say that hasn't already been said. There's some bangers on this. You sang a version of one of them. I feel like that's the one everybody knows. Miracle, I think, is on this one. There's another one. I was listening to it while jogging today. I mean, as somebody who's told you how much he loves R&B music, mostly because of like shit you told me about on the show, I would be remiss if I wasn't into Whitney Houston.
And All the Man I Need.
Mm.
My name is not Susan. My name is not Susan. Mine's neither, Whitney. Mine's neither. And
My
neither
name's
is
Matthew.
Matt's. Yeah.
I'm here.
Right.
Also, we could party. Sounds like you would like to have a good time. One thing I've thought was just crazy because when you put these people together, they're like on different levels of music. But this never got past a Vanilla Ice album and an MC Hammer album on the Billboard Top 10, Steve. Got up to top 3, but that Vanilla Ice and that Hammer kept her at bay, at least in 1990. This was it. I mean, that was the last year that they could possibly do that. But I just thought Vanilla Ice.
Well, this is the beginning of that rap music. It's growing, it's expanding, and it would be on the Billboard charts for like this is the beginning, like Hammer and Vanilla. And then from then on, you're going to see some of those rap songs. That damn rap, Darna.
They're rhyming shit, and I'm not liking it.
Hippity hoppity shit.
Bebopping, slip slamming. I don't trust it.
Well, you know the kids today listening to the bebop and the hip hop and the bull. Get me a pudding pop. Go to
Here,
bed, Vanessa.
have this drink. Go.
Go away.
But shout out to Whitney Houston. In
Hell yeah.
1992, Passenger 57 premieres. Airline security specialist John Cutter, finally returning to the job after his wife's death, finds himself in the middle of a hijacking by terrorists led by notorious international criminal Charles Rain. Directed by Kevin Hooks, starring Wesley Snipes, Bruce Payne, and Tom Sizemore.
Tom Sizemore, dude. It's weird to see Tom Sizemore as the guy that you just trust, you know?
Right. He's a cop, but an actual cop.
A lot of weird, like, cop adjacent jobs in this, too, that I just didn't know existed. Because Wesley's not a cop, Steve. He's a security specialist. He's a consultant.
Whatever that means.
All I could say is I love this movie. It's great. It's one of the, you know, we got a lot of it, but this is one where Wesley's throwing out like one-liners just on a cheesy level that are so fantastic, you know, like bet on black.
Always been on black.
I mean, I love that. The villain's hilarious. The villain looks like the guy from Warlock, the horror movie. He's just like a weird white dude that, I mean, respect. This guy gets
Bruce
it done.
Payne.
Reign of Terror. That's a cool gangster name, Steve.
So is Bruce Payne.
Yeah, Bruce Payne. Yeah, it's like it could be anything. It could be a rapper. He could be a fucking wrestler. In this, he's a psychotic terrorist.
Could be related to Martin Payne.
Yeah, shit. I'm sorry. Different, you know. That's my cousin. But yeah, I mean, a terrorist who's just really good at hijacking planes. I'll give him credit. This guy's done it a lot. He's just, I mean, that's his MO. I didn't know hijackings were this easy, Steve, but I guess back in the 90s, you throw on a wig, you have a nice demeanor, you got a chick who's bad as fuck with you, looking like a stewardess, acting all nice at first, and then she pulls out the tool. That's all you got to do. And I love that.
I mean, early 90s, we didn't ask questions.
Also, shout out to his henchman who's just like constantly on the outskirts, the bald dude who just is like in the background helping him out. Like, how'd you get all this access? Like, are you James Bond? Because you look like a shop teacher.
If it wasn't for Bruce Payne and Wesley Snipes, I don't think I'd look at this movie favorably. Like one of the first picks was Steven Seagal. They actually consider him, and that definitely wouldn't have worked.
I mean, I just like putting him in a different vehicle to beat his way out of. But yeah, Snipes, he's got the pizzazz. Also, he's an ass kicker. And I do like the martial arts he's throwing down in this. It's a lot of slow, like methodical, like Thai boxing almost, where he's like, deesh, deesh. You know, it's Seagal-esque, to be honest, but it's got the Snipes kind of martial arts appeal to it. The blade.
And recently we talked about our favorite action stars of all time. We never mentioned Wesley. And that's why I said I don't think Jackie Chan gets his props like he does, like he should, because we never mentioned Jackie. We talked about Bruce, we talked about Arnold, Sly, Jean-Claude, Val Kilmer. Never mentioned those two.
Can I be honest though? I feel like it's because they didn't have their own like vehicle. They were just they were in good action movies, but they never got like all those other people had like sequels or a character that continued. We got no more John Cutter movies, you know. This is a dope movie. What's that?
We had Blades.
And with all due respect, Steve, we're put on the spot sometimes on this show. I'm stoned to the gills, so they don't immediately come to me sometimes, and that's to the audience's detriment. You know, I got a weed problem, guys, but it is what it is. And I agree with you. Wesley, you can call him action movies, whatever. He's been in a lot of great action and like gangster movies and shit like that. So shame on us. And this is another good one of them. I feel like it's got it all.
It does.
He's a guy who lost his wife in a crazy way to a fucking just brutal fucking just gangster in his own right. I mean, the guy just blew his fucking wife away for fuck's
Yeah.
sake.
Put the gun down, man, and nothing will happen. Oh, psych. Yeah, dude.
Damn, I was trying to help you out, dude.
Right.
But yeah, he's an intense teacher, I'll tell you that. He's kind of rough on the chick that we see in the background behind you, who I thought was like some long lost Jackson sister. But
She's
I
got a
don't think
look.
it's true. She has like the chin. It's just kind of facially kind of looks like, she's got
That
Jackson.
mousy nose.
But I love it. I mean, you get a lot of good action. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but it all lines up. Wesley ends up saving the day, saving the world, to be honest with you, from this terrorist, who I think was in a Warlock movie, if I'm not mistaken, Steve.
Yeah,
Look it up. Bruce Payne was in some Warlock movie.
Yeah, we'll get back to that. But that following year, 1993, Evander Holyfield beats Riddick Bowe in 12 rounds for the heavyweight boxing title.
Got a little revenge. And
Yeah.
I mean, for the audience, you get to watch a nice, delicious boxing match. And on top of it, you get what could have been a kind of tragedy, but
Yeah.
honestly, just a crazy event to see. Fan man, Steve?
Fan man. It could have been some Final Destination fatalities. You got this guy just uncontrollably floating from the air in this huge blade that's just going crazy. And that's why he got jumped. He got lumped up. The Nation of Islam was in attendance. Yeah, Minister Farrakhan was in attendance. And so the Nation of Islam, they were giving him beats. Riddick Bowe's, his team was giving him beats by Dre. And then some of the audience was giving him beats by Dre.
And they're all fired up. They're all fucking tanked up because they've been watching this fucking boxing match. They think they can throw bows. And honestly, they probably can, because I would be blind with rage if I'm sitting there paying the front row seats, Steve. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
The cost of those tickets. All of a sudden, bing, bang, boom. I paid $20 for a beer, and then this fan man I get knocked out and I drop my beer. It's just a whole thing. It ruins the experience. So I know Fan Man kind of went on to be sort of a celebrity from this, and I don't appreciate that. I respect that he's part of a historical thing, but you're a jackass, Fan Man.
Yeah, he eventually ended up taking his own life. He unalived.
Okay. Rest in peace, Fan Man. Sorry you were dealing with some stuff.
Yeah, man. I was trying to look up what the purse was for that, and I remember like one of them, I think it might have been the winner, got 11 million, but the loser still got something like 9 million, and this was in 1993, man.
Isn't that crazy?
11 mil.
Yeah.
I would buy people.
Evander Holyfield. I would buy a person. Hell, I mean, dude, you got 11 mil in the 90s. You probably, ask
Why
any
not?
of those rich motherfuckers. They were buying people.
Especially little people. I'd buy a little person for my feet.
Yeah, dude. For your feet.
Hell yeah. You tend to my feet every time I come home from work. That's your sole purpose. And then I get another one for blowjobs because, it's right at her head. It's right at her face anyway. She ain't got a kneel or nothing.
Hell, this all makes sense to me. I'm not going in that way. I'm going more like I'm going to have a kumite at my mansion, like a Mortal Kombat situation where, I'm calling in like cool celebrities and then ends up being a kumite. I got millions of dollars in the 90s. I'll handle it, That's kind of where I'm going. But, you're getting like a Miss Juicy lady just to blow you. So I respect that. And Evander Holyfield, maybe he did a little bit of that, but he did buy a house that was so huge he couldn't pay for it at a certain point. It was like it was like a kingdom, and I respect that too.
It's down here in Atlanta, and it's now owned by Rick Ross. Like the native ATLians, they said that Evander used to have like giveaways at his house in the summer, and like he would hold like kind of like block parties, but I guess you call them big house block or mansion parties where he'd like
Mansion
have kids
parties?
come. I mean, having like parents and like their kids come through, like he would buy like supplies and stuff, and school giveaways. So Evander's just a solid dude, man. He's a hero even outside the ring.
That's
But this
awesome.
was a good one, man. Like overall, great trilogy. They fought 3 times, and the fan man thing, I feel like that added to the lore of this. The first 2 were instant classics, and I'm talking about after the bell ring, they're still wailing on each other. It was a slobber knocker, as Jim Ross would say, all throughout the match. He's taking blows, Riddick's taking blows, and they're just giving each other the business.
This is like old school heavyweight fights too, because that's what it
Yes.
was. Just people there's no like this guy's a technical wizard and like defensively great. It's just they can beat the shit out of each other's face. It's a Rocky movie.
It's straight up, and they can know how to take a punch, man. I'm
Oh
talking
yeah,
about like when little Joe, when you just barely make it with that one opponent that's giving you a hard time, and then they cut back to the like interlude between rounds, and he's got like this salami slice on his eye. Like that was Evander at the end of this, but he's still he's rocking. Oof, oof.
dude.
So
He took down Mike Tyson, dude. Arguably, like still like a scary Mike Tyson. Still,
still,
there was nothing to be done. That's why I hated Evander Holyfield, I think, for a while. I held it against him because I love Mike so much. But you're right, dude. And I love hearing that he was using his money dumbly, but also doing cool shit as well. That's awesome.
yeah, man, it just seems like a good brother. But yeah, shout out to both of those legends. And then in 1995, Fresh Prince is airing season 6, episode 7. Not with my cousin, you don't. Will and Carlton try to halt Ashley's planned intimate evening with her beau, Derek.
Derek.
Derek? Yeah, I thought
Urkel?
your name was
Are you another clone?
right.
This is a spicy episode, Steve. And it brought back some memories for me of just like this time in my life and just how exciting it was. So love this episode. And now it's appropriate. She's a beautiful woman at this point, but Ashley somehow became just the hottie of hotties on the show. Hillary, and you got Hillary to deal with, and honestly, Aunt Viv. I thought Aunt Viv could get it, but
it's around this time Ashley eclipsed Hillary because in this episode we'll see. Like this era of Hillary just wasn't doing it for me with the bangs, and she's wearing like Oprah power suits and shit. Like,
business
yeah,
yeah, I don't like
give me
that.
season
Murphy
1 through 3.
Brown shit.
When she was rocking with the curls and she had the big blossom 6 hats. Like, yeah, I like that.
Now Ashley's running around in sundresses with stockings on that. Yep.
Yeah.
Let me get a little taste.
And we start this episode off with Derek, aka Urkel. If you funky, he's trying to get a taste of some Ashley Banks on that couch, and I like how they're just so liberal on the couch, as if a huge 6'4" man with the voice of Shredder isn't going. You can't just pop in anytime. But
you're right there. Like at least go to the pool house or like off to one of the wings. Because everyone's walking through this room. Even Jeffrey could come in. Like he'll just say something sassy, but you're right there.
You're right there.
And as somebody who's been caught in a very intimate moment, you gotta find some privacy, guys. But this is Derek, Steve. Derek, he doesn't live by the rules that we live by,
Like Donatello, he does machines. And there's something about this version of Jaleel White that I appreciate. It's kind of like he's Stefan minus the douchey, because I think that's what it does for me and Stefan. Like, yeah, you're cool, you're suave, but there's like a tinge of douche with you. Like this one, I prefer. Like Derek, you're cool to me.
He's a hot, nice guy, Steve. He's not a model he's just like Stefan Urkel can smell. He knows his shit stinks and he likes the smell of it.
Yeah, motherfucker.
Derek, he just likes being himself. He just likes living that Derek lifestyle, and you got to respect it because it's leading him to this. Just a nice heavy makeout sesh with Ashley Banks. You're in Beverly Hills making out with a hottie in a mansion. You're doing pretty damn good in life, Steve. I lived in LA, never got close to any level of this. I love my wife and I met her there, but this never happened to Matt G, you know? Derek,
And
though, getting it.
apparently he's in town for a college tour. He could be going to Stanford, he could go to ULA, and eventually they make out again. And this time Will pops in. And he's cool with this. Like his cousin just making out. He's not tripping. He's just like, oh man, you two little lovebirds. One of those kind of deals.
He starts snapping Polaroids too, which creepy but hilarious. He's the funny uncle, Steve, or whatever, cousin brother.
Big cuz.
Yeah. So he gives him some shit and then just leaves. And then Derek gets back to the max status, and he even pulls out a little jewelry box because he brought Ashley a gift, which is, I mean, how this guy hasn't gotten laid yet is crazy because he pulls a jewelry box out with a bracelet with charms reminding her of all the favorite things that they used to do as friends.
Oh,
I mean, good God, man. Steve. We should all be taking some notes here, I feel like.
yeah, I'm good. I got that figured out. But she ended up saying, like, I think this is the first time someone's done something like this for me. And Derek says, I think there's something else we should do for the first time. I should give you a pearl necklace to match that bracelet.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love that. Would you? Good. But Ashley is a little unclear about what he's saying, and he's like, I'm talking about making love, girl. And Ashley's like, wait, together?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I would love that. So that's how we kind of cut into the intro. But Derek just, he's not even he doesn't even live here, Steve. He's like, I'm coming into town. We're having this great time. Let's do this. And you got to love the confidence, right?
Yeah. Can I put two fingers in? And then we come back from that, and Carlton and Jeffrey, they're into the kitchen, I guess. And Carlton says he's going to install the new intercom system. And Jeffrey's like, man, you don't even know how to plug up a toaster. So he walks away. Carlton, in the process, gets electrocuted.
Like for real electrocuted, Steve. You're seeing fucking X-rays.
Yeah, Urkel style. And now Will and Derek, they're walking in, and even Derek, he has a short joke. Damn, you only here for one episode. You even got a Carlton short joke.
Yeah, that's true. He does get ganged up on, but Derek and Will are just buddies, man. And Will's like, yo, you need to go to ULA. Honey Central. What does he call it, Steve? The Hive. Because honeys be swarming. This is like he got game, Steve. Steve or Will's using the you're gonna get some puss.
Will's Rick Fox's character. Let me show you the ropes, sonny boy. But Carlton, he does not care for Derek because he even says, like, hey, I'm watching you, mister. And Derek's like, man, whatever. So he goes outside. Carlton's like, I never liked the cut of that guy's jib. And I never liked that term. I always thought it was a weird term. Who the hell made that?
I mean, Will even's like, why are you looking at his jib like that?
For that long.
Like, I would love to know what that means. Because it probably means something terrifying and it's like some old saying that's crazy, but at the same time, you're a weirdo if you say that.
Yeah.
I say that a lot, Steve.
In the next scene, Ashley walks in and Uncle Phil, he's there. We see him for the first time. And she asks, his mom here? It's like, oh, no, she had to run out and do some errands. But is there anything I can do? You got any questions? It's like, well, I just had a question about makeup and dicks. But
wait, what was that second thing? Nothing. You can go, Dad. So Phil leaves. Ashley goes into the kitchen and runs into Hillary. And Hillary's fully adult now, Steve. She's changed. She's metamorphosized into a Murphy Brown suit wearing adult. And
Yeah.
instantly she's like, wait, sister radar's going off. Let's sit down. What's the tea? And they get to it, Steve. Ashley's trying to beat around the bush, but eventually it becomes like, when did you know you were first in love? Hillary has some hilarious story about fucking some guy who was held back
Buff.
3 times, but buff as hell. But he was
Yeah.
a full grown adult by that time.
Yeah, and this is one of those moments of that women's intuition, because Ashley at first she's beating around the bush, no pun intended, and Hillary, she steps in and is like, "Oh, I get it. I know what this is. It's about a boy and you in love."
And she
But
is.
yeah, and as they're talking about Derek, she says, like, look, I'm gonna be real with you. Long distance relationships hardly ever work. I mean, look at Little Mermaid. She's on sea, he's on land. It's like, what, Hillary, what are you talking about? Look, do you know a magic crab? Do you?
She's right, though. I mean, you got to give her credit. The logic checks. But it's not just she's in love, Steve. She has feelings for Derek, but she tells Hillary straight up, she's like, Derek wants to have sex. But
And
she's all full of good advice in this episode. This is different Hillary. I mean, this is the last season, so
last
I
season.
guess she's changed. But even then, she's like, me and old guy that I was banging back in the day that I can't remember his name, we knew it was the right time. So whenever it's the right time, you're gonna know. It seems like you're not that into it. And I think she says here that, or maybe I don't know if it was here or not, but basically that she didn't think her first time was going to be with some guy that's gone the next day, which, Jaleel doesn't live here, Steve. This is just a pump and dump.
I'm not here for a long time, just a good time. And then we cut to Ashley's room, and she's with her girls, and she's picking out her best fuck me dress. One of them is this polka dot dress. Like, are we fucking Minnie Mouse?
The friends, the one with the pigtails, Steve, they made her
Yeah.
look super young. But I gotta say, just like she's the same age as Ashley and obviously an adult now, I would have loved to hang out. I would have liked to
Right.
hang out with Keisha. I think her name was.
Yanoka Doyle. I had a huge crush on her.
But yeah, so they're starting to talk about it, and Ashley she's like, "Have you guys had sex?" And they haven't. And but even Keisha's like, "Sounds like you're gonna be the first one to pop that cherry of us, because of what they're talking about." And then basically, this conversation's happening now. So then we cut to the kitchen where Carlton's finished his intercom work, and thankfully he's alive, and he actually somehow wired this thing correctly. And he's like, come check this out. Like, we can just listen in now. I forget what he calls it, but we're just going to go through the rooms and just check it out. Check this out. Here's my room. Silence. Just like it should be. And then I think he goes into Jeffrey's room, and Jeffrey's having some spicy conversation or talking to himself about just shaving his whole body.
Yeah.
I mean, whether it's to somebody or not, it's still kind of weird. So they get off of that, and they switch the channel to Ashley's room. And I mean, they hear it all, Steve. Ashley's talking about making love. This is not what you want to hear. And Will and Carlton both collectively just start screaming. They lose it.
I feel it though, man. My cousin started getting older. I was like, put the things away. Not the baby. Not the baby.
You gotta wait, girl. But Ashley's an adult, Steve. But Carlton, he's feeling like you. He doesn't like this. And he's wanting to go interrupt this whole shebang and just tell Ashley, you're not going anywhere. You're keeping a chaste lifestyle, just like Hillary.
Yeah, you know what? We're going to make her watch movies, Doris Day movies where they're singing show tunes. Matter of fact, I'm going to call a nunnery. I know none of them open. I'm going to look for a 24/7 one. Look, Carlton, we're not even Catholic. Be open minded, Will.
We're just gonna deprogram her. We're gonna watch Doris Day movies and que sera, whatever will be, will be. Whatever will be, will be. That slut. Nothing's working for Uncle or for Brother Carlton here, but Will's like, dude, he even tackles Carlton. It's like, you can't embarrass her like this. Don't be fucking crazy. We just got to figure this out.
And Ashley and her girls come down looking fast, and Derek he eventually strolls in. Ashley's girls they leave. She ends up going upstairs and leaves Derek to talk to Will and Carlton.
Yeah, and they throw a heavy. I mean, it's just bad cop, basically.
Like in Bad Boys.
Yeah, oh yeah. Man, motherfucker, you 30. And then Carlton takes Derek outside to sort of intimidate him a little bit more so Will can talk to Ashley. But he can't even get a question out. And he just starts crying. He's like, I heard everything. He tells her the truth, but she just gets pissed. And she's like, look, I would have expected this out of Carlton, but not you. Not Will, you son of a bitch. Which that hurts Will, Steve.
Yeah, especially when you compare him to Carlton. And then now we're at the date. And they pull up to the hill. Now, Matt, I've seen this in movies and in TV shows, but you lived in Cali. Is this a common thing, or is this just a sitcom thing that they wanted you to believe? I
mean, I'm sure you could find a place to do this, but I feel like if you it's probably going to have a bunch of homeless people there just fucking with you the whole time.
In 2025, probably.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to be in a convertible just fucking anyway out in LA, but you know what? They're near Bel Air, so you know what, Steve? I wasn't in the rich parts. They probably went up into the hills, There's probably some place up on Mulholland. Jaleel took Ashley just for a nice little getaway.
Yeah, I mean, this was the 90s. Things were probably safer, I like to think, but
more wholesome.
So yeah, they pull up to the hill, and Ashley, she tells Derek about the guys overhearing that conversation. They heard about me and telling my friends that I wanted you to be my first. And they have a back and forth. It gets to the point where Derek asks, like, well, are you ready? Ashley says, if you are, I am sure. It's like, look, would you rather not do this? Because I'm not trying to apply any pressure like that. Not that serious.
I'm Derek. I'm the perfect person. And he is, because he's like, look, I'm not putting any pressure on you. And Ashley's relieved. She's like, oh, fuck, yeah, oh, thank you. Because she says what I said earlier, that, she just never thought her first time was going to be with some guy that was going to be out of town the next day. And right. Derek gets that and is like, well, okay. Blue balling it a little bit, but what are we doing now? A little miniature golf? I gotta go. I'll be right back. Just gotta get the evil out real quick. I would have loved if this was Jaleel White's dramatic acting turn, where he was like, you tempted me, bitch. He's a shitty guy at this, Steve.
On a very special episode of Fresh Prince of Bel Air. And Ashley, she makes it back home, and Will stops her to talk. Hey, Ashley, we used to talk about everything. I don't know what happened, man. Look, I'm sorry we listened to your convo. I just can't believe that my cousin is having a sex life.
Doing sex stuff. But Ashley's kind of still shitty about it. She's pissed that he was listening in on it and trying to sabotage shit, but she's like live with it. But as she's going up the stairs, she's like, look, well, nothing happened. And you see Will, like, because his back's to her when she says that, he's like, generally, honestly, like, I've never had a sister that's younger. I get what they're like, this is a thing and whatnot, but I wouldn't care, Steve. Unless it's just some crazy shit.
I have little female cousins or younger female cousins, like because I'm the oldest out of anything, oldest son, nephew, all of that. So I get that sentiment, and I actually have a younger sister too. So I can relate to this, man. You don't want to think about your sister or your little sibling getting penetrated. You hate to think that happened. Like if they have babies, it's like, oh man, it's like the you had a miracle baby, like Jesus, because that other thing that totally didn't happen, right? Right?
Right, Derek? You fuck. But they make up. Wills admits that he's like, I panicked. I should have known you were smart enough to make a good decision. Which was echoed by Hillary too. She said the same thing. And Ashley's got a good head on her shoulders, Steve. So they hug. And as they're hugging and they are sharing in this like really nice private moment, we hear the intercom come on and Carlton's tearing up like, oh, that was so beautiful. And that's perfect. The end,
Yeah.
Steve.
Another classic, man. I love a nice crossover. Like I remember when this episode first came, I was like, "What? They didn't even. I don't even think they promoted this. It's he's in this. What a multiverse shift. What?
I mean, I like Jaleel coming in to just being a pimp, Steve. He's just a mercenary at this point. He's out there. And I like Derek as a character, and I feel like he's going places, Steve. Just like to put that out.
He didn't even have to take his glasses off, Matt. It's in you, not on you. But on that same day in 1995, Little Bear premieres on Nick Jr. Based upon a series of children's books. A Grizzly Club has many
children's books.
He has many misadventures with his friends. 5 seasons, 65 episodes, Matt. I really practiced this, and I only did this to fuck with you. But damn it, I just killed the whole momentum of that.
I don't remember it, Steve. I don't remember these children's books or the show.
You sure, Matt?
I don't. Shit. Damn it, Weed. How dare
that
you?
One time we had I spent the night at your house, bro. We had a Little Bear marathon.
Yeah, dude. We were 12. We were watching Little Bear. We were having a great time. Duck and Fat Owl and Emily. They were all there.
Damn it, I messed that up. But that following year, 1996, Set It Off premieres. Desperation drives 4 inner-city women to bank robbery in Los Angeles. Then they start mistrusting each other. Directed by F. Gary Gray, starring Jada Pinkett, Queen Latifah, Vivica A. Fox, John C. McGinley, Kimberly Alicia, Blair Underwood. Oh my god,
you son of a bitch.
Oh god. Oh man.
Steve, I hate to say it, but I think you set it off.
Dude, yeah. I wish I had that down. But dude, great movie. It's an instant classic. This is actually my favorite Queen Latifah movie. My favorite of, well, I'm not going to say out of any of her projects, obviously Living Single, but man, she took the show. She was the showstopper in this. Everybody played their roles perfectly. You know, you even get a Dr. Dre cameo. And this might actually be,
Steve. You get Dub C up in this piece too.
Killer Gang.
Biggie Bang. He does Biggie Bang in a huge way. Honestly, he's one of the most cold-blooded gangsters I've ever seen in a bank robbery. But I agree. I love this movie. It's just another one proof. F. Gary Gray's a bad motherfucker in terms of a director. Obviously, he did Friday. This is a great movie. It's a great heist movie. It's got great action, filled with hotties.
Yeah.
This movie actually inspired me a lot because just like me and Aaron actually wrote our student like script thesis based off of this, and
Oh
just kind
wow.
of like pulled from the bones of it. But I've always dug this movie. Couple standouts to me: Vivica A is a badass in this. The guy from Scrubs, who
John
was
C.
in like,
McGinley.
yeah, dude, that guy is like, I mean, it's not even quietly. This guy's been in a shitload of good stuff. He's just like he's got crazy range, you know?
He was in Platoon.
Yeah, exactly. He was really good, but he's kind of a coward in that. And he's a coward in this too, in kind of somewhat.
Yeah,
But go for it. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say he followed LAPD to, prepare for this role. So, that's true to
I
life,
didn't like his fucking partner though. That chick, the little like smoky voice chick, the little black lady. I don't like that lady, Steve.
That's Rock's wife.
Well, Rock's wife, and I don't like her in this. She's got a bad attitude. But also, I got something that just because I'm a pervert from when I was a kid. When Queen Latifah's living the big life, and she's got her hottie rubbing on her on the car.
Yeah.
That chick. First of all, I
Yeah.
just want to be a fly on the wall during that scene, but I just remember just instantly as a kid watching that and just like we didn't have the internet, or at least I didn't have access to the internet to look up who this person was, but just always infatuated with just a very fine woman, Steve. Queen Latifah had great fucking taste in women in this movie.
And she didn't even talk, Matt. And also something important to note, Mac from Night Court was in this. He plays like the funder, I guess. I don't know how you say it. When Jada Pickett, her brother dies, and she's going through a lot, can't afford bills and all of that. So Mac, I think his name is Charles. He was the black guy from Night Court. Mac.
Did he have a mustache?
He had a mustache.
Yeah, I know what you're
And
talking about.
yeah, it's kind of been a phrase that came up recently. I want to say the COVID days. Help me, I'm in a bind, Nate, and he's the guy who's got it. You know what I mean? So he's like, hey, we're not just gonna get this for nothing. Well, what are you talking about? And at first she's like, no, I'm good on your money. But eventually she gives in, and you cut to the next scene, and it's Mac just all on Jada Pickett, sweating and everything. Like, damn, I never looked at Mac the same after this movie either.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, that is tough. You don't come back from a scene like that.
But
Really nothing like bad to say about this movie at all. I think it ends well. I think it has a great ending, honestly. Like not a happy ending, so it's not the typical Hollywood thing. And I just think the way it all ends is great. Jada makes it out alive. Everyone else goes out, like especially Queen Latifah. And the one thing I'll always say to Queen Latifah in this, when you're driving towards the cops at the end, just don't stop. You could have gone right through and at least continued the chase. She just stops and just has a moment, a cigarette, and lets the cops collect themselves. But I think if you rewind that scene, Steve, and you'll understand what I'm saying, she comes up. There's a gap in those cop cars. She could have just kept going, Steve.
just straight 5-star.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
one more thing, man. The boss of Queen Latifah and Kimberly Elise, he's played by Thomas Jefferson Bird, and he's just like riding on them hard. Dude is hilarious, man. He was actually in Bamboozled. He's been in a couple episodes of Living Single. He was in Brooklyn Finest, and everything he's in, man. For those scenes, he cracks me up. In the one scene, he was like, who the fuck do you think you is? Mighty fucking Morphin Power Rangers? But
one other notable thing that always was outrageous to me is that the opening scene of this is Vivica A. Fox, who works in a bank, right? She gets robbed by Dub C. Dubsy kills a bitch in front of her, and she panics, and it's this whole thing. She's taken into a room by her boss and fired because she just knew of Dubsy because they grew up together. But she just literally had somebody's brains blown out on her. And she even says to the guy, like, you're firing me? And the only reason they're firing her is because she's admitted to knowing the guy. But I was like, this is fucking crazy. But it's a good reason to start robbing banks, I guess.
A good reason to set it off. And then in 1998, Boy Meets World is airing season 6, episode 7, Everybody Loves Stewart. Corey may be possibly expelled from college when he knocks a teacher out the screen window of the commons room. However, that same teacher hit on Topanga in her dorm last night, and he's lying about it.
I don't like this, Steve. I don't like Stewart. I don't like Fred Savage in this. I do like a whole family of sons getting paid off of being on an episode of a TV show, though, basically. I enjoy
another crossover in a way. And this is actually the third time they've worked together. Only 3 times, man. Little Monsters, The Wizard, and this.
Well, this Fred Savage is playing a straight scumbag, and I don't like that. Stewart's a scumbag, Steve. Spoiler alert. And it's getting on my. I watched this today. Outrageous. And it's another thing. It's just like that bank thing I was talking about, Steve. I don't like how these people are treating our people in the 90s. Topanga?
There's some savages.
That's so savage.
Yeah.
But yeah, we opened this one. We're in class. Corey and the gang are in college now, Steve. This isn't high school anymore. And just like college that we all went to, they got a really engaging professor. You know? He's different. Treats him different. He's the cool professor. He's like Robin Williams in Dead Poets Society. Everyone just loves this guy because he's different.
He's like Rod Belding's brother.
Yeah, dude. Except he's Rod Belding and his beautiful brother in one beautiful package, Steve.
No, I think that was Rod Belding. My bad. I can't remember Mr. Belding's first name, but
it was the beautiful
Todd?
Belding. Yeah.
What, Rod and Todd, maybe?
Yeah, maybe it was, dude.
Maybe Rod is Belding, but yeah, man. So this guy's cool. You don't even have to refer to him as Mr. He's Stewart. You could just call me Stewart.
Call me Stu if you want. Stu if we're having a good time. And he's also honest, Steve. You know, he's like, these papers suck, guys. I'm gonna accept Topanga. Yours, out of sight. Everyone else's, work on it. This isn't high school anymore. Take your diapers off.
But he's taking a liking to Topanga's work. It's like she's a wonder kid, blowing him away.
Yeah, he's laying it on real thick too. He's like, "Hey Topanga, can I talk to you over here real quick? Just wanted to tell you that man, you smell great. Also, you just know a lot. Good job. Anyway, I'm an adult talking into an adult, right? You know, I feel like Stewart would be a good cult leader, if I'm being honest, Steve. He's very like weird. He knows how to persuade people by giving them like compliments, you know?
Yeah, his grifting gets a 10 rating. And even Sean at the end of this class, he said, you know what, man, Feeney never treated me like this. Stewart actually treats me like an equal.
He's so freaking cool. Dude, do you think he likes me? Like, you think we could hang? Chill out, dude. Yeah. It's like people when we had that weather class were like, this guy's fucking intense. It's like, this guy's a douche. Right? And honestly, I like that not everyone's falling for this because we cut to whatever this is. It's the max of Boy Meets World in college. It's a coffee shop. I don't know if it's the student union.
It's
where they're hanging out. Yeah. And everyone's there. Eric's brothers, or Corey's brother's there, Eric. And he's even like, look, man, see Stewart over there? See that guy? That guy's a scumbag. I got bad dude radar, and it's going off right now. My spider sense is tingling in a bad way.
And Eric, man, you know, he's like a Kramer in a way. Like he's very off kilter, but sometimes, man, he's right on the nose. And Eric, he might be my favorite or second favorite after Sean on this show. Actually, no, third favorite because Topanga's my favorite.
Not even, I mean, Feeney's better than Eric, Steve, in terms of just like a G.
You're right.
You want
I shouldn't
Feeney before Eric. Eric, the hair though, the freaking hair Eric's got, I would love to have that.
Yeah, I didn't think that
Jonathan
through.
Taylor,
You're right.
But speaking of Feeney, you know, the kids moved to college. What it turns out Feeney did too. He's got a job teaching at this college. He's in the big leagues, and he's talking to the dean, Steve. And she's basically telling him in this scene that he's a little high strung. He needs to chill out. She even gives him a coffee.
Yeah.
Don't ask how I had a scone. So that bitch
And Eric even sees Feeney across the room talking about Stewart. Like, man, that dude can't even clap Feeney's erasers. Hey, Feeney! Feeney!
Get that pussy, Feeney. And Feeney, you know, he just ignores that shit, but respect. And Eric, that proves Eric's got some good judgment, Steve. He sees it. He's willing to give fucking Feeney his propers.
But that Stu guy, he's bad news. And now we're in Topanga and Angela's room, and Stewart, he just walks in. He's like, hey, yeah, I saw the door was open. First, like, what are you even doing in our dorm?
How'd you know where my dorm was?
She told him.
She told him the number and stuff?
Apparently.
No,
Maybe not the number.
Yeah. He's like, I'll just go there. I'll go floor by floor.
Right.
I can smell those titties. But he comes in. Wolf's got a scent, Steve. And he comes in sniffing around. Angela's like, oh, what the fuck's going on? If I didn't know any better, you know, something's going on here. But Stewart's also very good at playing off stuff, you know, seeming very innocent. Like, oh, nothing going on. I'm sitting here chilling. You want to hang out? You know, if you want to leave, that's cool too, though.
Unless you're a watcher. So Topanga actually tells Angela, hey, it's cool. I'll meet you at the student union. So she leaves, and like and I was just Stewart and Topanga. He's like, look, I just have to ask first, have we crossed the line? Like, I'm your teacher and I want to bone you. But it's like, is that okay? Is it all right if we do that?
Yeah, I mean, he's throwing it. He's not saying it direct like that, but he's basic. He likes to throw out hypotheticals, which I wish I would have known about this as a younger man. Just it's because it's a hilarious way to try to be a pimp. Because he's like, just like hypothetically speaking, like you wrote a paper about a guy. I'm a guy. Hypothetically, what if I got naked in here right now? And she's like, wait, what? He's like, I'm just joking because you know. It's whatever, but hypothetically, if I wasn't joking, how would you feel?
Yeah. Then he gets up and he's like, what? How about if I wanted to see you more than Tuesdays and Wednesdays? Then he sits back on the bed and she said, like, Stuart, you're making me uncomfortable. And I think you should leave. No, you don't. And then after that, Corey walks in.
And then Stuart's like, hey, what's up? I'm out ski. Corey, you're the shit. Get back to me on that paper, Topanga.
Even Corey's being naive because he's like, you know what? Feeney wouldn't be caught dead in a dorm, let alone a dorm room. Sean's right. He's in a whole nother league.
this guy's a legend.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of weird judgment on this because I just feel like if I'm anybody at all, I don't care who it is, how cool this teacher is. You walk in and the guy's just in a dorm room like this, you'd be like, you're a teacher, dude. What are you doing in here? Even if you'd say it jokingly, but yeah, Corey, he's lost in the sauce. Steve Stewart, this guy knows what's up. He'll do house calls. Shit, I was in my underwear. He came in and taught me math. I had a fucking half a chub. He's teaching me about fucking calculus. It is what it is. This is college, guys. That's all this
He's
happened.
Stu's cool, man. I'm gonna ask him to buy me some beer, and then I'm gonna turn his ass in after I get the beer.
Hell yeah. Nice. That would be a good way to get back at Stu, Steve, but we're not there yet. But Topanga, she's left feeling just gross. And you can tell that. She's affected. It was weird. He put his hand on her leg. It was, a line was crossed, Steve. It wasn't hypothetical at that point. So we cut to the next day, and everybody's there. The gang's all there. And, wait, sorry, before we do that, she tells Corey straight up, like, this dude straight up made me feel like super uncomfortable. He came in here and she tells him what happened. She doesn't like keep it a secret. So now Corey knows, Steve. Yeah. Would you rush right at the guy? I wouldn't wait till the next day. I feel like I would go find this dude.
Oh, that's a great question. I think I would wait until we cross paths because it would give me some time to think about it. Like, because I am in school and he's a teacher at the school. So for me, I tried to be more strategic than Corey. Props to Corey. This is one of the shining Corey moments, considering he's a piece of crap himself, in my opinion. But now they're at the union. They're back at the union, and Corey, he sees Stewart get there. He wants to talk on the patio. Hey, man, I just got to holler at you a second. They get outside, and Stewart says, you know what, about your paper? Like, oh, no. This isn't about the paper. Topanga told me that you made her feel uncomfortable. And she actually said that you hit on her. And he's like, what if I told you I was?
Like, which is crazy. This is where this becomes like a fucking NCIS episode, Steve. Because now I'm wondering how much of this has gone on in Stewart's past here. You know what I'm saying? He's pretty quick to just go nuclear and be like, what if I was pussy?
Yeah,
what are
he's
you going to
doubling
do
down for sure.
So we see them talking now, and we cut inside this coffee shop, which you can see, like, everybody's set up on the couch, and you can kind of see behind them that Corey's talking to Stewart, like, on this patio. So they're having like some bullshit conversation. They're making fun of stuff. And they say, I forget what it's about, but they say something to Topanga, and she's like, I don't, she's just kind of like paying attention to this argument. And then all of a sudden, Corey just fucking, Chuck Norris's Stewart through the window, Steve.
Yeah, and straight up.
So, I mean, that's crazy. At that point, I'm like, dude, this is like weird now. This isn't just like you're a scumbag. Like, you seem kind of like evil. What if I was on your fucking girl pussy?
And then even more of a douchebag move. He's like, congrats, you just got yourself expelled from college.
I'd be like, oh, and at that point, I'd be like, all right, like, just go off, Corey. Go nerd rage and just like plead insanity. That's what would happen to me. But I don't like this part of this episode because we cut to like Sean and Corey's room, and Sean's like, dude, what's your problem, dude? Like, they're like kind of like miffed at Corey at first because of what's going on,
But I mean, they are there. The whole crew's in the room to support them at first, and then the parents, they get there, and the dad's like, dude, you hit a teacher? Like, did he threaten you? No. He hit you? No. He made a move on Topanga. In the classroom? No, in her dorm room. Oh, shit.
Yeah, even you could see that. I like how the dad played that, because if I was the dad, I'd be like, oh, okay, I get it. Okay, let's just lawyer up real quick.
Yeah.
That's nuts. And even Feeney fucking shows up, and also Feeney's got that inside knowledge, and he's like, look, man, like, the dean, she's got a hearing scheduled. Like, you actually could get kicked out of school for this because it's your word versus Stewart's word.
Just giving you a heads up. And now we're back at the union, and Eric, Jack, and Rachel. I forgot Rachel. She is a corn actress now. And, I saw some of her work for, research purposes. And
what did you say she is, Steve? Because I thought
She
you
is
said corn, like the band,
co-
but you said porn.
I, I said, well, yeah, porn director. I'm trying to get around. I don't know the
She's a
legalities
porn.
of YouTube.
She's a porn star.
She's a porn star, and she's hot.
That's
I yeah.
Rachel's in porn. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to do a little Bing search after this. Just check that out.
Yes.
What a great! I mean, I love that. Rachel figured it out. She was trying to help out Corey in this because Eric's got her and Jack, which is another Savage, right? No, not Savage.
He's
This
a
is
Lawrence.
he's a Lawrence. Man, there's a lot of fucking Hollywood DNA in this fucking episode.
Yeah.
And they're just basically trying to incriminate Stewart at this point. Eric's like, look, Jack, go look sexy for Stewart. And Jack's like, dude, I'm not doing that. I'm like, what are you, crazy? And then he tells Rachel, go flaunt yourself. I like how Eric's just pulling the strings here. And I like how he has the power to just be like, Rachel, put your ass out. very, very amateur pimp of Eric, I guess.
Like he owns a brothel. So she sits at Stewart's table and she starts flirting. Stewart's like, wait, what did you say? And then like you don't hear what they're talking about. Eventually, Rachel, she stands up, is like, look, oh, so what, am I too tall for you? Well, is it the fiery red hair? Or is it because you're too insecure about your height, little man? Or is it that? Look, you came on to me. Yeah, well, no. She was like, you're not going to reject me. And then she walks off.
I reject you.
I reject
is it
you.
because I don't have I have little titties? Is it because I have no ass? Like she just tears herself down. Fucking again, dude. Fred is a savage in this episode. He just straight up, he could have gotten some sniz. It walked right up to his table, and yet he just threw it away. I mean, he's got his sights set on Topanga, Steve. But then she comes in, and she sits down at the table, and she's like, look, you know what you did. You made me super uncomfortable. You know it was wrong what you did. And if you don't figure this situation out and get my fiance out of trouble here and stop this nonsense, I'm going to the dean.
Right.
She throws that ultimatum up at him. And dude, he's like, what are you talking about? I love his energy. Anytime he gets confronted, he's like, no, you said that was cool.
You came on to me. See you at the hearing. And now we're at the hearing, and Eric, he's about business. He's standing on business, man. He walks in with his briefcase, People's Court thing kicks in, and now it's time for action, Jack.
But he gets pushed to the side. The dean's not having it, but he's there for moral support. And the dean's like, look, Stewart, tell me what happened here. And Stewart's got a slimy, great answer, of course. He's like, look, I'm a good teacher. That's all. This is just a case of me caring too much, basically. Sure, I went into a student's dorm alone, but it was because I love teaching.
I'm passionate about these children.
Somebody's got to get through to these kids, Dean. God damn it.
Yeah, or get through in them.
And then again, like this guy might be like a Johnny Cochran fill-in because then he's like, Dean, Exhibit A, Sean, he's one of my students. Sean, tell the dean how good of a teacher I am. And I guess Sean thinks he's under like oath and he has to tell the truth. I'd be like, this guy's a piece of shit, Dean. He did whatever. But Sean's like, put me on the spot here. Yeah, he's a great teacher.
He treats me like an adult. He treats me like an equal. But it's not like Feeney's a bad teacher. Like he does put that in. Like, dude, like let's not besmirch the Fiend dog. But Feeney, he's on the case. He's like the cross examiner. He's like, look, how did you know where she lived? She told me. But hold up, before we even get to that, why are you even in a room? That's kind of weird, dude. You think it's proper to walk in a young lady's dorm room? You think that's cool?
Sorry. I forget whatever he's calling Feeney by his first name, which is ultimate disrespect. He's like, look, man, like you old teachers might not get it. I'm the new blood. We teach in a different way, right? And I come whenever I'm needed, wherever I'm needed, however I'm needed. All right. So yeah, was I in our dorm room? Sure. Was I extremely aroused? Clearly, but I was there to teach, right? I even asked her
And,
about crossing the line. So I think we're good here, guys. I'm going to go back and teach.
but and Corey, he steps in and he's like, "Look, you know what you did, man. You made a move on Topanga, my fiance, and he said he wasn't going to stop." The dean says, "Like, look, it's inexcusable, no matter what the provocation is. Like, you hit someone from the staff."
And you are suspended for the period of one day.
But
And so
you will
everyone's like,
be.
oh, wow, okay. And then Stewart's like, Judge, this is fucking crazy. You're punishing me because I care. Okay, fine. But I don't like that this student who's assaulted me is going to still be on the campus. I don't like that. And the
And
dean tells him, I got my eye on you. I don't like that there was nothing else. This is a little kind of a light tap on the wrist, Steve.
we need closure. And Sean's like, "Man, I don't know how I could even compare him to you, Feeney."
And Feeney's like, get your shit together, Sean. I'll be fucking the dean. Which I think he probably does, Steve. And if he doesn't, that's a crime. But I think it's a crime Fred Savage gets to continue to teach these hot young co-eds because he clearly can't control himself.
Kevin Arnold, I want to send you right back to the 60s with one of these.
What would you do if I came in your room? Would you take off?
Nice. You're
Yeah.
going somewhere with that.
I had it. I didn't want to keep going and get too fucking crazy. I've been told I get a little perverted sometimes. I lean on that a little too much, Steve. So we're gonna just I'm trying to change for the better, right?
Yeah, there you go, man. The evolution of Matt. But
Yeah.
also in 1998, The Siege premieres. The secret U.S. abduction of a suspected terrorist leads to a wave of terrorist attacks in New York City, which leads to the declaration of martial law. Directed by Edward Zwick, starring Denzel Washington, Annette Bening, Bruce Willis, Tony Shalhoub, Sammy Boulela, and David Proval. I'm gonna leave those last two out.
Though, Steve, I told you, I never saw this movie.
Never
I
heard
think,
of it.
yeah, I really had it. I kind of remember, but see, here's the problem. Bruce Willis has the same smoldering look on the cover of a lot of movies. So I think I confused this with maybe like one of his other war movies, but god damn, this is a good movie. Or at least I enjoyed it. I think as far as this goes, like a terrorist plot movie, uh, martial law movie. There's a lot of like sort of like one crazy stuff that it was made before 9/11. So there's a lot of like 9/11 shit or like, themes that are kind of true to life in it. And then we get this more of like government takeover thing, which is unfortunately right now in the world we're living in, something that is a little more relevant in this exact time and place. But I enjoyed the fuck out of this movie, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I liked it, man. And this is one of those movies where, like, I guess Bruce Willis is a side villain or one of the villains because of his wrongdoing. But hey, man, they came over here messing with us. Come on, like, don't.
Yeah, that was the only kind of confusing part because even in this movie, he's against martial law, but he then becomes like the villain of the movie in some way. Like, but that's a little bit of a confusing thing. But all in all, dude, like Denzel, Bruce Willis, I mean Annette Bening's in here, fucking this Iranian dude, looking kind of sexy at times, being a CIA operative. Great action, I think. Cool fucking story. And You get Tony Shalhoub just throwing some zingers in here, acting his ass off too. I gotta say,
The Shaloobster.
yeah, because we start. I mean, at one point in this movie, they start rounding up fucking Middle Eastern people and just putting them into camps.
Racial
And there's like an
profiling.
intense scene. Yeah, there's an intense scene with Shalhoub and Denzel where they're trying to find his son, and it gets pretty. It's like an Oscar-worthy performance. So, I mean, with all we've said, like, there's just a lot of good ass acting in that too, and I don't know. I feel like this movie kind of got scrubbed because of the content and how, it kind of is a little too close to home, I think, for some people, probably.
In hindsight. But on that same day in 1998, The Waterboy premieres. A waterboy for a college football team discovers he has a unique tackling ability and becomes a member of the team. Directed by Frank Karachi, starring Adam Sandler, Kathy Bates, Fairuza Balk, Jerry Reed, and Henry Winkler.
Coach Clan. Love it. This is Adam Sandler. This is full Adam Sandler. He went full Adam Sandler, Steve. We get the voice.
Yeah.
We get him getting the girl again, as he always does. We get fucking Kathy Bates, just a lunatic. Well, she's great in it. Henry Winkler. I mean, it's a star-studded affair.
We get your boy Lynn Swan in the beginning.
Man, that's Joe Montana. We get Clive fucking whatever. What is his name?
Clint Howard.
Clint Howard. Yeah, dude. We get him. We get fucking all the Sandler guys.
Lawrence
Farmer
Taylor.
France in this with his nipple rings. I mean, it's everyone. Don't smoke crack.
Yeah. Yeah. Jimmy Johnson, my goat, and I can't remember who he's sitting next to. It was like another legendary college football coach. It was Jimmy Johnson. It wasn't Barry Switzer, was it?
Was it Chris Fowler?
No, it was a coach that's more recognizable.
Bill Cowher's in it. I know that.
Bill Cowher. That he wasn't Cowher. It was Bill
shit.
Cowher sitting next to Jimmy Johnson, and I think Joe Dante. He plays the quarterback. Hey, water boy.
I love when he gets tackled. He's like, he gets an ultimate stutter, Steve. And that's what I like. These movies, he had his cast that you would always get too. Like, now it is what it is, and you'll see some of these people show up. But like, this is him in full effect. Everybody was into Sandler. He was getting to do whatever the fuck he wanted. Yeah, dude. People seem to not like this movie as much as other Sandler movies. I don't get it. If you like Sandler, this is the ultimate.
This is probably my number one. Depending on what day you ask me, it's this one or Billy Madison.
You can do it. I mean, that came from this. That was from this movie. That's where it originated. So, I mean, this is, like I said, this is where we're kind of seeing a lot of that familiar Sandler stuff, and it was becoming more commonplace. So, yeah, dude, I love this movie. Well, there was like one guy. I forget who it is. He's on like a team with a black jersey, but I want to know.
Gilliard from The Wire.
Is that who it is?
Lawrence Gilliard from The Wire, and he was in that other movie from the early 90s that we covered. But yeah, he's in it, and we can't leave out Big Show. Well,
what are you, kid? 9, 10 years old? I'm 33 years old. Isn't Mean Gene in it too?
No, that's Chris Farley's brother.
Oh,
that's
you're right.
him.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. Hell yeah.
Dear Waterboy, eat shit and kill yourself. Signed everyone.
You the devil.
Playing that foosball.
Where does this stack up in the Adam Sandler collection? Is this top five?
It's number one sometimes. Like it's like 1A, 1B with this and Billy Madison for me, man.
That's tough. I feel like Little Nicky's better than this, but we're in the. I think that's post 90s, but
definitely.
I love Little Nicky. And then there's Big Daddy, and then there's Billy Madison, and then there's Happy Gilmore, and then I'm not doing them in order, but yeah, Waterboy, still in that prime Sandler time where you're just getting everything you want out of it. It's a familiar story, but it works.
Yeah, man. Definitely an instant classic. But what are the callbacks this week? What are the callbacks this week, Matt?
Just a quick shout out to the Drexel Theater in town where I live. We got to see Wayne's World in the theater last night because they just, show old movies. I'm pretty sure I saw it in the theater, but it was cool to see it. And man, I forgot how hot Tia Carrera was. I mean, just a queen of the 90s that I wanted to just have sit on my face.
Yeah. She might still even look like that, if I'm not
She
mistaken.
does. I mean, she's a little bit, she's got a
Longer
little
in the
more
tooth.
junk in the trunk, but she's still sexy as hell, dude. Tia Carrera, man. When she's strumming on that guitar in the club, not usually turned on by musicians or them like just strumming a guitar, but she just looks sexy. So shout out to Tia Carrera, shout out to Wayne's World, shout out to freaking Rob Lowe being hilarious. Throw him in an SNL led movie. It just is him and then Tommy Boy. Rob Lowe really got some juicy roles because of being I guess being connected to SNL in some way because they loved using him.
Yeah, I mean he's a good, I guess you could call it straight man in these kind of comedies. The evil, like handsome guy.
Yeah. But I just love seeing 90s movies in the theater still. It's cool that people do that. It doesn't happen a lot, but I don't know. I always try to take the opportunity to do it when I can because man, it does. There's something about seeing something when we saw Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the theater. There's just something about seeing that shit in the theater where you get it takes you back to when you saw that shit. You get a flashback. It's in a good way. But hell yeah,
Yeah.
man. What about you?
Well, 1991 Quantum Leap, and I kind of wanted to cover this at first, but it's an hour long and we had a lot to cover. They're airing the episode The Wrong Stuff, and this time around, Matt, Sam is inside of a fucking monkey. I shit you not. He's
No.
inside the body of a monkey who's being tested on. It's like, how they were testing monkeys into in NASA and taking them out to space and shit. So
Yeah.
his job is to protect the fellow chimps and stuff. It's one of those most out there quantum leaps, which is hard to say because all of them are out there, literally.
Yeah.
But
he was Dr. Ruth. He was a mentally challenged man.
He was a black man.
He was a monkey at some point, apparently, too. I didn't know he could leap into an animal, Steve.
Me neither. And I watched this show back in the day in syndication. I had completely missed this episode. I must have been outside when they played this in reruns.
Damn. Well, I'm going to watch that right now when I go downstairs and eat dinner, Steve. Fuck. That sounds fantastic. I love that.
Man, yeah, take a gummy and watch this, man. Available on Roku. So yeah, Sam, man, doing it for the chimps. But also in '97, Seinfeld is airing the Merv Griffin Show, and we just covered Seinfeld, but this is another classic from the last season where Kramer, he sees some antique furniture and he instantly realizes that it's the set of the Merv Griffin Show. So he gets it, brings it into his apartment, and he turns it into a full-on TV show, like a late night talk show set, and hilarity ensues, as you could imagine. But
isn't Newman always his guest host?
It's always, yeah, he's always his Ed McMahon, and he doesn't talk to his friends in a normal way. He's talking to him as guests. So you just had this happen to you, Jerry. Explain more about that.
I love that. I do remember that one. But I love it. Another classic.
But please share, subscribe, and comment. Please tell your sister that she's my baby tonight. Check out Food Show Fanatics as well as Crushgasm every Wednesday with Kendra G, our guy Clark the Shark on Podcast, and Wrestling with Ron Zilla on TikTok. This is Steve G and Matt G with Evan in the
90s. Ow. If you smell what Steve and Matt G are cooking, there you go. Nice. I can't do it.
I barely. Yeah.
I was attacked.